Can an infection, or how does an infection cause cerebral palsy? It's actually a pretty easy answer. However, it's not generally known. When you have an infection, right, most infections we think of are outside of the spinal fluid, right? So the infection is maybe in my arm, my face. You can have preseptal cellulitis where it's in the cells, but it hasn't hit the spinal fluid. The reason sepsis is so dangerous is it starts going from an exterior infection, exterior meaning again from the spinal fluid, and starts to hit the brain or go into the spinal fluid. Meningitis, those kind of infections are not good, and this is the reason why. When I have an infection, let's say my appendix is infected, well, you better take that out or I'm going to die, right? An infection outside the spinal fluid is really dangerous. Now, an infection inside the spinal fluid is deadly too, but you can't take that infection out. So, what most people don't realize, and I'm just using my plant here, human biology and biology in general opposes gravity. And they do so through rotational movements. Now, you can't see this plant rotating, but actually they're structurally created to oppose gravity through rotation. If you don't believe me, go watch any kind of slow-mo video of a plant growing, and you'll see instant rotation the second they break through the soil. This is why hydroponics don't create such a strong plant, because you don't have the same rotational rate. And this is why they can't grow plants in outer space to this kind of ability, because there's no opposition to gravity with rotational movements, and that's what's needed for all of us to thrive and have orientation for cognitive and physical development. But so no matter how I work this plant, no matter what I'm doing with my movements, is opposing gravity. Now again, it moves, but it's still opposing gravity. Your plant doesn't go to sleep at night, doesn't go fall down. Now when it falls down, you can blame it on the lack of sun, the lack of water, all of that. I can guarantee you the movement quality that plant has lost is the ability to rotate in opposition to gravity. So plants are rotating like this, and they're wicking water up, and that's how they grow, or to the length of their growth. The less rotation they have, the shorter they are. If you look at succulents, that's what it is. So now I'm going to use these common beads, but these beads, no matter what, are going to fall to gravity. This plant's not. This plant's not falling down. Now, if I cut the plant and take it away from its oppositional force, which is the root system, it will fall down. Gravity still works. I'm not saying it doesn't, but if you look at the biology, and I was just going over a Zoom consultation with this morning, so I'm just going to say it again. So I'm going to take this beads, right, and put it on the plant. This is my infection, right? Now the infection acts as a mass. Now an infection is still a bit more living, let's say, than cancer. Cancer is a bit harsher on the nervous system because it really succumbs to gravity. But again, you can see here, just like a Charlie Brown tree, my plant is now totally succumbing to gravity because it has an infection. I didn't change the biology of the plant. I changed the way the plant is organizing in opposition to gravity, right? I put a mass on it. It doesn't work the same way. The mass that you're talking about is an infection. So with that kind of mass influence to the system, even though doctors tell us, and I've had it with my son has had Haemophilus influenza, staph, he has staph again, he's been sepsis, he's been preseptal cellulitis, he's had 29 surgeries. As far as infections go, this is why I specialize in these kind of movements, and also I'm such an advocate that we need to understand gravity and biology, right? I have 21 theories of biological gravity. They're all published. You can watch my stuff there. But what you're looking at now is what a doctor will say is the meningitis is all gone. Well, guess what? You have CP, right? And this is why. So the first touches that you're doing with your child are literally like if I was just here and I'm literally just taking the infection off this plant. Now the plant only has one move, really, is to oppose gravity to wick water, right? And to follow the sun, we can say it that way as well, and that's why the sun rotates. You start seeing rotation everywhere if you really start to study these theories, right? But I'm taking that and see the infection's still there, but it's with that, see, boom, The infection's gone, I impose in gravity. Now I could have influenced the plant already, and this is why you're coming in and just so gently and working with that person. You literally have to almost do CPR to every cell of the body to undo the effects of the meningitis, even years later. I like one woman, she blew out her eardrums and she had such bad backs. But her meningitis blew out her eardrums, and she was a lip reader. It wasn't until she had meningitis when she was 2, and it was 9 when she walked into a doctor's office, and someone's like, "This kid can't hear. Like, she's lip reading. What are you doing about it?" kind of thing. So she really locked down her midline processes as well as dealing with the infection. When I first touched her spine, it was just locked, for lack of a better words. That the touch. Again, just like working on a plant, is just so gentle, almost like a little cellular CPR to get those kind of movements back into the system, and then we can start working on development. Thanks.